Okay, good morning everyone. So last class we have taken the introduction to Pega. Once I'll review within 2 5 minutes. So somebody newly joined today. So just I'll review within a few minutes. So Pega is a application development tool. It's used to develop web applications. And here the development will be done without any coding only. There will not be any coding. So totally drag and drop and point and click. It's like a tool where all the features are inbuilt. And using all those built-in features, we are going to design and develop the applications. And Pega is just a tool, not a programming language. So in this, everything comes as a built-in. Okay, like we used to call it as a Pega as a PRPC we used to call. So Pega is just a product name, which is a product of Pega Systems, and PRPC is nothing but a platform, which is nothing but a portal, or we can also call it as Designer Studio. So in that, as a developer, we'll be working under that portal. Okay, so when you work on any Pega applications, you'll be using the same portal everywhere. Any company, the portal will be common. And Pega comes with some built-in methodology. So that is nothing but it will manage all the day-to-day operations in the organization, all the connection, all the connections within the application and application connections and all it will manage. Okay. So Pega comes with all these components by default. So Pega is also called as a Pega PRPC BPM tool we used to call. And here in this tool, so Pega will be having two editions of software. One is called as personal edition and another one is enterprise edition. So for practice purpose, they released an edition called personal edition they released, and it comes with one database and server. And Java also get installed along with Pega PRPC. And PRPC is nothing but a main platform where all the designing and development will take place. And even in enterprise edition also, which is used in the real-time companies, so there also you'll be getting the same components, but only difference is so it will support all the databases and servers. Means depend upon your project requirement, you'll get access to all databases and all the servers. Okay, so only thing is in the personal edition, they'll not give access to all the databases because it's a normal practice edition, right? So they'll be giving one database and one server they'll be providing. Okay, even though in the real time, if you work on any other database or any other server also, the process is same. No need to have any database knowledge. We'll be using some built-in methods to map the things in the database. Okay, any connections if you manage database connections and all, some built-in methods will be there. We'll be using them. So even though if you use any other database also, the process is same. And then next thing is we'll discuss about the Pega PRP's installation. So generally, Pega installation you can do your own by yourselves only can do. That steps are very simple. So for that only thing is you have to know is so basic system requirements. First of all, before starting the installation, you must know what are the system requirements it will support. So on any Windows platform it will support. But if you're using any Windows 7 OS, make sure you must be 64-bit OS. Okay, if anybody uses Windows 7, make sure you are using a 64-bit or not, because in 32-bit it will not support. So make sure you are using 64-bit operating system. And Windows 8 or 10 it will come by default with 64-bit only. No need to worry. And minimum RAM required is actually 2 plus like 3 or 4 GB it will support. Okay. So actually 2 GB also you can install, but it will be somewhat bit slow. It will be so recommended is more than 2 plus or 3 plus. So up to 3 GB or 4 GB is sufficient. Okay. And in any drive, free space 10 GB free space is required. Okay. Any drive in your total system, anywhere 10 GB free space is there, you can install this setup. And the process in order to install this setup is so I'll be after the enrollment is completed, I'll be sharing the software file. So from Google Drive, I'll be sharing. You need to download that file around 5 GB it will be. And once the download is completed, it will be saved in some zip format. It will save. And remember, maybe in somewhere in your system, in the documents or some download folder, it may save, right? So first thing what you have to do is that zip file you can extract there itself. Okay, extract that file. Okay, again some folder will be created like Pega 73, and that folder we have to copy to any drive, because don't directly run from the documents or download or desktop, because some files it will not read properly. If you run from any drive like any C drive or D drive, it is okay. So once after downloading, the first thing is download the file, and after that extract the software, and that folder will be there, right? That folder you have to copy to some drive, you have to copy. Okay, and remember, don't copy to desktop or documents, because it will not install from the desktop path or document path, it will not install, because some exe files it will not read properly. So compulsory copy the folder to some drive in your system, C drive or any other drive. And here one more thing you have to make a note is, uh, you can directly copy your that file folder Pega 73 folder will be there. You can directly copy to some drive, or if you want to add any separate folder separately, if you want to give a folder name means, remember, if you give a folder name it's okay, but the folder name should not have any spaces. Okay, suppose if you give any folder name like, suppose if you give some folder name like Pega software or something. So remember, for this folder name, don't give any spaces. Okay, if some spaces are given, some Java and database files it will not read properly, then installation will not happen. Total completely it will not install. Partially it will install. Means partially if it is installed means you cannot open the application. Okay, so remember, you can directly copy the file to any drive. Directly this folder you can copy, or if you want to add any folder means, give the folder without any spaces. Okay, give the folder name without any spaces, and under that you can copy the folder, and in this you'll be having all the files will be there. So different files like Java installation files, database installation files, server files, everything will be there under that folder name. And finally, to start the installation, so this is the basic process guys. First thing is, you have to check your system requirements, and then follow the steps like download, then extract the file, then copy to some drive. And if you give any folder names, make sure then a space should not be there for the folder name. So these are the things you have to note. And finally, in that particular folder, if you open that folder, the 73 folder, these files will be there like this. So in this, you have to click on install file. Okay, so you have to click on install. That is a batch file actually. You can see as install only. When you just see the name, you can see as install will be there. Just click on that file, and the installation will start like this. Okay, the screenshots are for 7.1 version, but 7.3 also same, only this number will change. Okay, so for 7.3 also the same project, only the number version number will change. Okay, so you'll get the first screen like this. When you click on install.batch file, just follow the steps in the screen. So you have to click on next option, then some what are the things it is going to install, what are the system requirements, your configuration, admin permissions, anything is required. See, system requirements I mentioned, and configuration requirements is default only, no need to change anything. As it is, you can directly install. And what are the things it is going to get installed along with this Pega installation is, I told Java will be installed along with Pega, one database, that is PostgreSQL database, server, Tomcat server, and PRPC, personal edition software. So these four things will be installed along with this configuration, and you will be getting the screen like license agreement. Just click on accept, and in order, in which order it will load the data in this particular files. It will initialize first all the things in the application, then it will install the server, then it will load the database, then it will create the desktop icons. Okay, so after the installation is configured, you can see some icons in the desktop like this. Three icons will get created along with the installation part. And finally, launch PRPC is nothing but it will load the server automatically. Once installation is completed, the server window also will automatically load. Okay, but in order to load the launch PRPC, it is a last step. After server is installed, database is installed, after the desktop icons are created. So finally, the launch PRPC. So here all the options are enabled only, no need to do any changes. So by default, these options are enabled. Just click on next option. And the next step is directory selection. Here in your system, if you have only one directory means okay, you can by default you choose the C only. If you have any other directories partition, you can choose any other directory also. If you have more than 10 GB free space is there, you can choose other directories also you can choose. And directly you can use browse option further or directly enter the directory name like C or D or E. You can directly manually also you can enter the directory name. And don't add any additional folders. Pega only will automatically create a folder and under that it will save all these files. Okay, so particularly no need to mention any folder name here. So only directory path only we have to set. Automatically under this directory, it will Pega will create a folder like PRPC personal edition. Some folder will be created, and under that folder all these files will be stored. So only select the directory name. Don't add any additional folders. And here next step is port configuration. So when along with Pega database will be installed and server will be installed. So automatically the port numbers also will be populated. So sometimes if you have any other databases in your system or any other servers if you have, maybe the port numbers may conflict sometime. Okay, you have to once check the availability in this screen. When you get this screen, you have to check the port availability. If both the ports are available means you have to click on next option. When you check the availability, if the port numbers are showing like not available means you can change these numbers to some different number you can change. Okay, the numbers also mentioned in the screen below. Suppose if a server port not available means you can give 9090. If database port not available means you can give 5433 or 5434 you can say. So compulsory because this is an important step. If the port is not available means if database or server is not installed, the installation also will not complete properly. So compulsory check this step whether the port is available or not. You have to check. If not available means you can change the numbers accordingly given in the below screen. And after that step finally start the installation. Okay, this step will click on start option and this entire setup process will take around 15 to 30 minutes depend upon your system configuration and speed. And in the when you start the installation sometimes some java runtime error you'll be getting like allow the firewalls like plugins and all it will ask to install or not. So compulsory allow them. Okay, any plugins or anything if you get install them like install or don't install or allow or don't allow you'll be getting. So compulsory install the plugins and all. It will not harm the system and all. So if you get any firewall pop-up like any Java runtime error or anything, just allow those things. Okay? And this setup will complete after completing all the things like initialization, server installation, database loading, then finally creating the desktop icons, and finally it will give a message like installation successfully completed, and it will automatically start the server also. Okay, server also it will going to start. And finally once server is started, so how to know that server is startup is completed means okay, maybe in the server it will show a small message like server startup in milliseconds. If you don't see that, just click on the login icon. Finally in the desktop icons are created, right? We'll be having an icon called login icon will be there. So click on the login icon and it will open the application browser. It will open with username and password. If you get this page, then installation is successfully completed. So if it is showing like still loading means server is still running in the backend. If you are getting this page means then the installation is successfully completed. And sometimes what happens means still loading if you get in the backend server is still loading. So wait until the loading is completed. If you are not getting the loading message and if you are getting something like Tomcat server error means there is some issue with installation. Once again, either you have to verify first. What you have to do is suppose if you are not getting this login page and if you are getting some Tomcat server error or something, first thing we have to do is shut down the server. There is an icon called shutdown icon. So if you want to close the server means so click on this shutdown icon. This command prompts will shut down. Okay, and again once restart the system. Okay, means your system you have to restart once and again try to so click on the startup icon and once again manually see server will start up only at the time of installation. Again if you restart the system you need to manually start the server. Okay, if you want to start the server means the process is you have to click on startup icon. Okay, that will take around 1 to 2 minutes time depending upon the speed and everything. So it will take around 1 to 2 minutes time. And once the loading is completed, again click on the login icon and check because sometimes after the first initialization, so maybe some these files will not be loaded properly. So we have to restart and check. If after restarting also, if you are not getting the login page means, then there may be some issue with the installation part. Okay, maybe the starting steps which I mentioned, the compatibility you have to check, or if you try to run directly from the desktop or anything. So sometimes you may be issues. Okay, so in that case, so we have to once again remove the application and reinstall the entire setup. So here in Pega, how to uninstall an application means, so uninstallation generally we'll be doing from program files and all. But in Pega, in order to uninstall Pega software, not only in this time, suppose in the future, sometimes due to system crash or something, if the software you are not going, you are unable to open the Pega application means, in that case, once we have to uninstall the software, and again we have to reinstall. What is the process to uninstall the Pega application means? No need to go to any program files. See this Pega files, whatever we install it will not add under the program files. Okay, so everything will be saved under the directory. I told at the time of installation we'll be selecting some drive like the C drive or whatever the drive, and under that it will be creating some folder will be created. PRPC personalization folder will be created, right? So what you have to do is just delete that folder. Okay, so at the time of deleting the folder, one thing you have to remember is shut down the server. When you are deleting the folder name, shut down the server because if server is open means again you cannot delete the entire files. All the files you cannot delete, like database files and all you cannot delete. So when you try to delete that particular folder, so shut down the server and again restart the PC. Your system you have to restart and again follow the same process what you followed at the time of installation. Okay, generally if any case maximum you will be able to install only successfully, but in any case, in any worst case, if you are unable to open the application after installation also, you can follow this process. So before directly don't uninstall, first check restart the system and once again try to start up the server. Still if you are not getting the login page means like this, still after starting the server again also, if you don't get the login page, then you can do that process. That is delete the folder again because sometimes some server issues may be happen. So it may be partially installed. So in that case, again delete the folder and again restart the PC. Follow the same process which you followed for the first time. So that is the case. The main thing is before starting that process and all, check these 4 steps you have to check because if you do the mistake in the starting steps, if you directly run from download or any path like directly if you run from the desktop or documents, you may not get exactly what you are going to retrieve. Means what you are going, all the files it will not be retrieved. Okay, in that case, you have to follow this setup and all. So after the installation is completed, you will be logging to the application by using the default ID and password. Okay, so that one already mentioned yesterday. The default ID will be administrator@pega.com and password is install is the password. So first we have to log in to application using your default ID. Then later we need to add the new application. Some application we have to build. Okay. So let's see the process for that. Okay, I'll share the software after the enrollment today. You can some people already completed their installation and others you'll be getting the software. Then you can install the setup. And the next thing is I'll discuss about the just what are the inbuilt features inside the tool. Okay, what are the different parameters? Some technical terms we'll be discussing in today's class. So password is install is the password. So this is the platform you'll be getting. So in this platform you'll be having all the things like so everything like portals, everything you'll be having. So the first thing when you open the application you have to do is actually build the application. That if time is there, I'll by end of the class I'll show the application building, or else in tomorrow's session we'll discuss in detail. From tomorrow we'll start the practicals on this. So before that, we must know what are the some important terms, and in this portal, how many panels are there? What is the purpose of each and every panel? We'll discuss in detail first of all. So basically, in the application, when you open the application, you'll be having basically Pega application will have first of all four portals will be there. Okay, right now this PRPC what we log in, right? So this comes under developer or admin portal. Okay, actually admin part will separately will not be there in Pega, very minimal part only. So mainly it's a developer portal, means as admin part is also default by default will be generated and few things will be created by the developer only. Okay, there will not be separate admin team will not be there in Pega. That is also task of the developer only. So basically, so this entire platform we used to call it as developer portal we used to call it. And apart from that, you'll be having some other portals also. Any Pega application, not only this, in the enterprise server, if you work on any project also, so these portals are common. Okay, there will be some other portals like user portal and manager portal. About the other portals, we'll discuss in the coming classes. So basically, user portal is used for assigning work for the operators. Manager portal is for work management and all like how many team members are there and which team member is working under which particular task. All the things it will be mounted from the manager portal. Other portal not required for you. It's another level it will be. I'll discuss about the other portals later because as a developer, mainly all the design will be done in the developer portal only. And you as a developer you'll also be using user portal also you'll be using. So for this, so generally what are the tasks we are going to work in the application or what are the works we are going to do, that work assignment or work routing will be done to the user portal. Means you'll be having access to developer portal and also user portal also you'll be having access. In that case, so what you'll be doing means separate ID. Same ID can be used for developer portal and you can use separate ID or same ID. Depending on company to company it will change. So they can give same ID for both developer portal and user portal, or they can also give separate ID. Means every developer will have his own login for the developer portal and same or different login for user portal also. How to create the IDs and all, that's not a developer task actually. But in the coming classes when I discuss about these portals and routing concepts, how the work will be routed and how the work will be assigned, in those classes I'll discuss about the how to add more portals and how to use the routing option and all we'll be discussing later. So now mainly we'll be designing, because mainly all the design will be done under the developer portal only. In the user portal you will not do any design. Any works are routed to you, just you can check in the user portal. That I'll show you later. So manager portal and other portal you will not use. Okay. But what is the purpose and how it will look, I'll show you later. So now first of all we'll discuss about the Pega Business Studio and what are the components inside that. Actually, comparing the previous version and current version, some differences are there. Okay, in the previous version there is something called DCO and all, but in this version the setup process is completely different compared to the previous versions. I'll discuss again that one. Application setup, if time is there I'll discuss today, or else we'll discuss tomorrow about that one. So first we'll discuss about the what are the components under the Pega Business Studio. So Pega Business Studio contains four panels. One is called as header panel. See, this portal is common everywhere, guys. Any company on Pega project, if you are working, the options will be same. The portal will be same. Not even single option also difference will not be there. So you'll be having four panels will be there: header, explorer, work area, toolbar panel, or we can also call it as a footer. So basically in the header option you'll be having mainly menus will be there, and under the menus you'll be having some internal tools, some built-in tools will be there, some built-in wizards will be there. Okay, so like that all the menu options and some built-in settings will be there. Only some partial design only you'll be doing from the header panel. So here header panel is nothing but in the top of the application you can see some header option is there. So these are all some menu options. Okay, this is one menu called as Business Studio. This is called as application menu. This is called as launch menu. I'll discuss about each and every menu. So here the mainly in the header option you'll be having all the menus, and internally inside the menus some tools, widgets and some built-in settings will be there. All the options we don't use, some partially maximum 5% options only will be using from the header option. Okay, only 5% options. So in that if you take the first menu, so in this mostly built-in settings and some built-in tools will be there. Okay, like under the application, some application settings and application tools will be there, like distribution tools. Okay, some documentation, some built-in tools. So those things comes under the application. And case management, all things are default, not required to use. All these things are default settings. And mainly you will be using some integration widgets will be using. Under the integration category, some connector tools will be there, service tools, email widgets will be there. So these things mainly under the application menu, some integration part and application part mainly as a developer will be using. And remember, not only developers, so many other people also will be working under the same portal, like team leads will be working, business analyst will be working under the same portal. Means all the options as a developer we don't use. Some lead architects will be using, some technical team will be using, BA will be using some options. Okay, so in this all the features as a developer we are not going to use, only some options as a developer will be using. So under the Business Studio menu, some 4 5 tools, important tools are there, we'll be using them. And the next menu is application menu. This application menu in the real time we don't use. Mainly that is used for application setup, for adding a new application. So if you want to add and build a new application means some internal tool is there. So the same thing it is available here also. Okay, in the home page if you see here, build application, if you click on this also it will go to the same page, or from application menu if you click on new application also it will go to the same page, because in the default id just a sample application will be there. Okay, we have to add a new application, give all the required information like what application we are going to add. Then in the new application we are going to start the design. But once you open the application the options are same. Only thing is we are giving some new configuration, new design for the new project. or new application. So for that, again, some internal tool is there, and this tool it is different in previous 6 version. The tool is different. Tool options are different. In 7.2, the options are different, and 7.3 again a new wizard is given. Okay, in 7.2 it is called as application express we used to call, but in 7.3 this is called as new application wizard. Okay, some changes are also done inside this tool compare with the previous versions, and how it will look in the previous versions I'll discuss in the differences class. I'll discuss. Okay, so this is one difference we have previous versions and current version, that is adding a new application. But remember, in the real time, this application, building a new application, you are going as a developer will not create. Either a technical lead will create or business analyst will involve in the application design process. Okay, so but in the personal edition means as a single user will be using this entire application. So here we have to create the application and all, then only we can start the design. But in the real time, it will be done by the lead team or business analyst will create the new application setup. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start this setup and all. Okay, how to add a new application and all. So some internal tool, if you click on that, you'll be getting some internal tool where we have to fill the details, what type of application you are going to build. It will ask for some information. All the parameters will be there, just template and everything will be there. Just we need to fill one or two details, just application name and organization name we have to give. Automatically application will be generated. That we'll see in tomorrow's class. Okay, if you click on this also, that will go to the same page only. So build application, if you click from the work area panel, that also will go to the same page, or else from application menu, if you click on new application also, you will go to the same page. Both are same only, but here from the menu we have to use the tool, and here directly they have given the option. Okay, that we'll see tomorrow in detail. What is the tool? What are the information we have to fill? We'll see in tomorrow's class. And the next menu is launch menu. I told that Pega applications contains different one application. If you create, it will automatically create different portals. It will create. So the launch purpose is to suppose if you are a developer in the real time, you will be having developer access, and along with that, user portal access also will be having asset. So in the launch option, okay, in the personalization default ID, they have given access to manager portal actually, but in the real time, they will give access to user portal. They will give access means directly from the developer portal, you can directly launch a different portal. You can launch. Actually, user portal also options will be similar only, but you don't get all these team members. You cannot see only your work, any work assigned to you only you can see. In the coming classes, I'll discuss. Not required right now. It is too early to discuss about the user portal. The purpose of the launch menu is to launch a different portal from the current one. Okay, launch another portal. Actually, in the default ID, they have given access to manager portal access. They have given, but in the real time, they will give access to user portal access. They will be giving. So manager portal will look like this. Some common options only will be having in the user portal also. We will not do any design here. Here in the manager portal, how many team members are working in this application and which team member is working on which task and all, they can monitor. And what is the service level left for that particular task. Okay, whether the task is completed or not, closed or open, all the status will be there about that particular work. That I will discuss later again, how to how the manager portal and what are the things it will be done. Okay, so next menu is create a case menu. The purpose of this menu is to see in the application as a developer will be doing some design, and after the design is completed means after all the requirements according to the client, whatever we design, finally we have to test them as a developer. Some basic testing also will be doing what are the design we completed, whether any mapping is done, any test records are given, whether it is working or not. As a developer only will be testing in Pega. So for testing purpose, see here testing we can do in different levels. Flow level we can test, or module level. In Pega, modules are nothing but cases. In tomorrow's class you will get the topic, what is cases and how to create them. In tomorrow's session, while building an application, you'll get the topic. So in detail I'll discuss tomorrow. So here create a case menu. The menu name is create a case menu. The purpose is if you want to test any module, module is nothing but case in Pega. So if you want to test any module, your module names will show here. You can test any module if you want to completely, if you want to test the design, you can execute from this option. Okay, for execution purpose or for running the module and testing purpose, we can use this one. Okay, so after completing some design only, I can use this option. After some 1 week classes, you'll be getting how to use this option. And there is an option called search option. For any rule, if you want to search in the application, you can type in the search and we can search for that quickly. And there is main menu, one important menu that is not for design purpose. It is totally help system. See, the thing is, Pega is not a open source tool. Okay, I told that Pega is not open source. So in that case, if you want any material or books or anything on Pega, you cannot get anywhere in the outside. If you want to some PDF total documentation PDF, if you want on Pega everything, you will not get outside the any in Google if you search or any documents. You cannot find not even a single document or single PDF file you cannot find because Pega will not share the files openly, they will not share. So any reference material or any help system if you want, you can directly get from the Pega 7 help, or there is something called PDN, Pega Discovery Network. So from PDN you can access, but apart from the PDN, the best material is, so you can get it directly from the Pega 7 help you can get. If you click on that, you will be getting all the contents. So what is what is the things in the Pega application, how to use the help system, and topic wise you'll be getting all the notes stuff, everything. Okay, so if you get any other materials also, that main source will be from this content only. Okay, so any definitions, a detailed description on any topic, you can directly refer in the Pega 7 help only you can refer. Okay, this is the best ebook or material I can say. So at any point of time, if we have any doubt on any topic, so topic wise you can search. There will be some content wise means you can check in the contents, but it is difficult to identify under which category which topic is. One way is you can use the search option. The other way is rule level. When I create the design on any, when I use any rule or anything, at rule level also you'll be getting the content and all that I'll show in tomorrow's class. Not only from the Pega 7 help, at the time of designing any rule also, there will be something called get help will be there. From there also, there directly can refer to that particular topic only. Here means all the topics and all the contents will be there. It is difficult under which category, which thing is there, it is difficult to learn. But topic wise, if you want means, I'll show practically in the next session, I'll show you. Topic wise also, you can get the help information. Or index will be there where all the keywords like a keywords will be there. What are all the keywords we have in the application? You can get a detailed definition like kind of thing you'll be get about each and every topic. Okay, our glossary also contains like main definitions will be there. All the topics which we have, the main headings will be there, right? On everything alphabetical order, you can find the main definition, you can find or main description about that particular topic. Both are similar, index and glossary somewhat similar only. So here also you can find the main keywords will be there under the glossary also. Alphabetical order you can find here. On anything if you want to any information like what is BPM. So BPM is business definition will be there for that. Okay. So like what is what, everything on every topic you'll be having all these information. Okay. Suppose I told case, what is a case? So what is the purpose? Like main definition will be there. Okay. So case is nothing but a like a module which you will be creating under the application. Okay. That in detail definition wise if you want means you can refer in the glossary, you can refer. Or more information about that if you want to define means you can get in the again more some subtypes also will be the relevant topics are there. Case and what is difference between case type and all, you'll be getting the detailed definitions will be there. For example, now we are discussing about the Designer Studio, right? In the Designer Studio, we have something called header is there. Okay, so different components are there. If you want to know what is what, You can see here. So Business Studio overview will be there. So under that you can see what are the components we have. So right now we are discussing about what are the components in the header, what are the things we have in the work area panel. Next you will get, suppose we are discussing about the header. So in the header option, if you want to know what are all the things we have, so there is again everything they cannot provide in a single page. We'll be giving again a hyperlink will be given. If you click on that, in the header again in detail what are all the things we have, what are all the different menus we have. Again about every menu will be having the description, and again landing pages will be there. Again hyperlink will be there. Again for example, from the Designer Studio what are the different menus we have. If you click on the hyperlink you'll get the options and all, like what is application menu, like every information within the tool. If you want to refer means I'll be sharing some stuff, but the main resource will be from the Pega 7 help only. Okay, so what is create a case menu, what is launch menu, what is the search, okay, what is the resources help. So like that about every option you'll be getting a detailed description you'll be getting. Okay, what are the options in the toolbar panel, in the footer option what are the tools we have. About every tool you'll be getting the detailed description you'll be getting. So it's a reference material. So this will help for the interview preparation, it will be helping for certification knowledge, these points it will be helping. So how to prepare and all I'll discuss in detail. Okay, so like this is the resources menu, and the last menu in the header is operator menu. Actually we can call it as operator menu we used to call. In the operator menu we don't do anything else. Okay, so generally what is operator, see there is something called user id. We are logging to the application using some user id. We are going to log into the application, right? So this id we can also call it as user id, is also nothing but operator id in Pega. See when a developer is working in a project, okay, so many developers will be working, and every developer will be given a new id will be given, separate id will be given for every operator. See operator in Pega is nothing but developer, guys. So when a developer is working on any application, every developer will have a separate id will be there. Okay, every developer will have separate id in order to log into the application. Log into the application. So first thing is application access will be common. Okay, all will have the common application access only, but there will be some changes. Then application contains portals. So portal access also maximum they'll be giving the same access, and portals contains roles. That is nothing but in Pega we used to call as access groups. Okay, mainly okay, access group means all these access, application access, portal access, and roles. Not only roles. So this total access is nothing but in Pega we used to call it as access group we used to call. Okay, what access group is nothing but inside the application what is the level of access a developer is given. Okay, so what are the things he can access in the application. So that is nothing but access group in Pega. So this one, when they create the IDs, operator IDs, when they create, they'll set all the access for you. What application you can access, what portals you can access, and what are the roles you can access. Means roles is nothing but actually based on the seniority. Suppose if you are a junior developer with some less than 2 years experience, some roles only you'll be getting. If you are more than 3.5 years or 3+ experience, again some additional roles you'll be getting. Or if you are lead architect, you'll be getting more roles. So depend upon the seniority, the roles will be changing. Okay, application access and portal access is same, but again within that application based on the roles we can access some of the options in the application. All the things we cannot access. If all the roles are given, he can access everything in the application. Okay, so that things, all those things are configured inside the operator menu. If you want to see operator means, if you click on operator, your information you can see. Okay, here in the default edit is not updated. If you want, you can manually update after creating a new application. They can update the image, first name, last name of the developer, what is his full name, job position, phone number, email ID. and to which application he is having access. Application access I told, right? So that comes under access group path. Okay, so what application access is given, and remember in the default ID is, see here, they have given access to two different applications. One is Pega Rules. Currently we are in Pega Rules application, and another application is DM sample. If they want to access the other application, they can switch between the applications also. Means some cases a same developer can also work on two different applications also. Okay, some cases if the applications belongs to same organization, remember, if an application belongs to same organization, at a time a developer can also work on two different applications also. Okay, in that case, directly the operator ID means the user ID, the user ID will be same for the developer. Excuse me. See, the user ID will be same for both the applications. So directly they can switch between the applications. So now if I switch to the other application, it will go to the other application now. Without logging off, they can directly open another application and start the design here. Means at the same time, a developer can also work on two different applications also he can work. Okay. So again, if they want to move to the previous application, so under the application menu, switch application will be there. Select Pega Rules application. So like that, so whether you can access one application or more than one application, they will be setting access and all. So that all information you can check under the operator menu. You cannot edit, guys. Okay, that edition is not possible. When they create the user ID for you, they will set all the access for you. Okay, so if you check in the operator, all that information will be there, which application you can access, and there are some other things like work. Okay, which routing access is given for which organization, which division level, unit level, some routing options will be there. In the coming classes you will get how to update the routing and all. And there is something called work group. Okay, so work group is nothing but actually this will be created as part of application setup only. This work group concept also, when I discuss about the routing concepts only will be getting. Now it is very early for you to understand these work groups and all. In the coming classes you can understand those things when I discuss about the routing concepts. And there is something called reports too. See, if you are one developer, means to some your team leader you have to report, or to some person you have to report. So that reports, so you see, every developer will have some ID will be there. To whom you have to report, that ID will be, they will be mentioning in the drop down. So every time we have to report to that particular person. So their ID will be given in the reports to option. And some reporting structure will be there who, and again your team leader who they has to report, all that structure will be configured. And skills, skill is nothing but, see, maybe you are having zero knowledge on other technologies. Suppose if you have some knowledge on some Java, or if you have some knowledge on HTML, if you have some knowledge on some other skills like SAP or any other XML or PHP or anything, if you have any knowledge, you can mention, means if you'll update to them, they will mention all the skills. See here some skills are listed. For example, if you know, because if you are working on some German project, if you know German language, they will update in your skills. Okay, you can, whether again they will update the rating further. If you know like totally you can read, write and everything. You can read, speak and everything, means they'll update the rating accordingly. Only you can understand means they'll update some rating further. Because say not only English projects, right? Some German projects will be there. So most of the European countries also, some projects will be doing in Pega. Maximum 50% of the projects from European countries also will be there on Pega. So they'll update the skills like French language, German language, if anybody know, because some people will be having some knowledge on them. Okay, if the skill is there, they can update. If there is no skill, no need to update. If you know Russia, so then French language if you know, or only English if you know, they'll update only English. Or any other skills if we have, they can keep on adding any number of skills here. Okay, you will update them. Accordingly, for that particular operator, they will be updating all the skills. And how to use the skills means, suppose any some meetings are there, so they will be taking you for the particular meetings and all. Suppose if we have some Java knowledge, any Java related work is there, they will assign to you. See, everyone, it is not mandatory. If you have Java knowledge, you can update. If you don't know, there is no problem. If any skill is there, they can use those professionals. Okay, those developers they'll be using. Some scripting knowledge is there. If they update in the routing, accordingly to those people only the scripting work will be assigned. If you know Java, any Java work is there in the application, any some coding if you want to pull and all, they will assign only to you. Okay, if there is other developer don't know, they will not assign that work to that particular operator. Okay, so like other things like any XML knowledge or any other skills manually if they want to add also, they can add in the skill level. Means you will not update, just you will give the information on what are the skills you have, or in the resume you will be mentioning, right? If you know, you can mention. If you don't know, you can just skip them. Or they will ask you particularly at the time of joining, they will ask you if you have any additional skills, you can update them. Okay, so for every developer, the skills cannot be same. It will be different. Suppose if that particular developer is having their skill means they will update the work for that particular operator. If there is no skill means that particular operator doesn't have that skill means only you will be working on Pega development only. Okay, remember. So only you will be working on the Pega development only. Okay, so like that. So they'll be having the operator information for every developer. It will be there, and there will be something called work basket. What is work basket also I'll get in a knowledge, you'll be getting knowledge on coming classes. And there is something called calendar. If you are unavailable from any particular date to some date, if you are on leave or anything, you can update your calendar where work will not be assigned to you on that particular dates. Okay, if you are on leave or something, you can update the calendar so that work will not be assigned to you on those dates. Okay, so like that, so many other things. If you want to update the password, you can update your password also. So all these things in the coming classes, one example I will take and I will be showing how these operator IDs will be created, how the work thing will be set for this operator, how the routing will be done, what is work basket, what is work group, all these things I'll update in the coming classes. Okay, you will not directly create them. Just if you have a knowledge on that, that is enough, guys. Okay, and if you see access group will be there. In the access group, you can just see the what access currently for this application, what is the access given, you can see. You cannot see for other application. If you open the other application, you can, there you can see that access group you can see. Means again access group will be different for every application. So for this application Pega rules, they have given access to developer portal and manager portal by default. Okay, in the real time list, so they'll give access to user portal, that is different. And what are the roles here? Okay, I told portals, application contains portals and portals contains roles. So here these are all the roles are also predefined in Pega. This they will add in the drop down, they will be adding. So depend upon the seniority, maybe if he is a normal developer means they'll be having only sysadmin role only will be there. Okay, he's some senior developer means multi-tenant and security administrator role also will be there. If he's a lead means high availability administrator and system operate administrator also they'll be having. If it is a technical architect means some API knowledge also, API role also they'll be giving. So based on the seniority of the developer, the roles will be given for the operators. Means every developer cannot have the same roles. Depend upon the every developer will be having different roles will be there. Okay, you will not directly set these things. Just they will lead team will set these all these roles, and just you can just check them. You cannot edit or you cannot modify them. Okay, in the real time, you cannot edit these roles when any operator ID is given for you or many login ID is given for you. Just you can check them, but you cannot edit them. Okay. So practically in this header option, you will be using some options in the Designer Studio. Okay, directly new application in the real time we don't create, but in the personal edition we have to use this option. Okay, in the personal edition we'll be using, but in the real time as a developer we don't use this option. Only to switch between the applications only we'll be using. And launch is to launch a different portal, and create a case is to test the modules. Okay, and resources is for help system. An operator menu here right now we'll be using only to log off. Okay, we don't modify any of these things or we don't create any of these things. So only to log off from the tool we'll be using the operator menu. Okay, so in this only 5% options only we'll be using, guys. In the overall tool, give me 2 minutes. Okay, so in the overall we'll be using only 5% of, sorry, in the overall header option we'll be using only 5% options only we'll be using. So next thing is Explorer panel. So Explorer panel we will be having different explorers are there. The first one is recent. So recent is nothing but actually what are the things we opened in the application, it will automatically quickly add to the recent items. Again, if you want to open that one directly from here, we can navigate and we can open those things. Okay. So this is optional. If you want to use, you can use. Then cases. So these cases and all we'll be adding in the application. I told case types are nothing but modules in the application. What is the purpose and how to use and all in tomorrow's class you'll get the topic in detail. And the next explorer is data explorer, and in this we are going to add the tables. See, in the Pega applications the database is predefined. Okay, means within the application only all the database creation, tables creation, all the connections and all will manage. So if you want to first add the tables in the application means from data explorer we'll be adding. So under this we'll be having some internal tool will be there. Using the data model tool we'll be adding tables in the application. In the tomorrow's or day after tomorrow class you'll get how to add the tables and all. Then the most important thing in the application design is App Explorer. So in this only more than 90% of the design will be done. Only from App Explorer only 90% of the design will be done, because all the templates I told Pega rules are there, right? All the Pega rules are templates available under App Explorer only. Okay, so how to use them in everyday class? We'll be using some rules. Okay, one by one after application setup is completed tomorrow. So how to create these rules and how to use these rules we'll be learning in every class. So here for that all the three things like all the components are inbuilt in the tool here, no need to create any external things or no need to use any external things. So all the templates are available, just we have to use these templates. So what is what after application setup is completed I'll discuss under which category what kind of work we can do in tomorrow's class. In detail I'll discuss. Okay, but remember the main design, the actual design in this tool, so 90% will be done only from the App Explorer only, mainly it will be done. And finally, so there is records. Records is nothing but actually what are the things we created in the App Explorer, we can in read-only format we can just check in the Records Explorer. Okay, so practical things we have to create from the App Explorer. If you want to just view them, we can also view from the App Explorer also in read-only format if you want to view. So records is optional thing. Okay, it is not mandatory, that is just optional thing. So in this Explorer panel favorites will be there, it is not a mandatory. If you want to just quickly every time for opening a single rule means you can add to the favorite option, that is not mandatory, we don't use much. So here mainly in the Explorer panel we'll be using App Explorer, data and cases. These three explorers will be using. Okay, so cases, data and App Explorer mainly will be using. And this is work area panel. So anything if you open in the application it is going to open in this work area. We can expand that, we can collapse that depend upon the requirement. And finally in the footer option there are some inbuilt tools will be there, some testing and debugging tools will be there, some alert tools, performance tools will be there. So in this few tools are used by the developer. Okay, few tools will be used by the developers. Okay, so this is the overview guys in the tool, these are all the options. So under this, so 5 to 10% will be using all the other options, 90% will be using in the App Explorer only. So in detail what are the components we have and how to add the design in the App Explorer, After application setup is completed, in detail I will discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, so this is just a overview of the tool and about the installation, how to do the installation. So from tomorrow we'll start the practicals. So till here, any questions, anyone? Any questions?